Welcome to Success Superstars, episode number 208, your place for inspiration and the blueprint of success for peak performers just like you. And my special guest today, Daniel Ramsey from MyOutDesk. Daniel, welcome.
Hey, Mark. Thanks for having me today.
Hey, thanks for being on. You know, first of all, I want to say thank you, even though I guess I'm the customer, but thank you for the services that you provide. You know, all entrepreneurs solve problems for a profit. And we are a customer, a product of MyOutDesk. You know, we have several virtual assistants throughout the Philippines, and we are very, very pleased with the service.
Well, thanks for saying that. I appreciate it. I'm actually excited to be here and share with your audience a little bit about how we instantly scale businesses that are growing with virtual assistants.
Well, I love it because your background says scale with virtual, processes. And one of the things we've been able to do, matter of fact, we ought to be one of your poster children. We've been able to scale. And first, let's just brag on the people in the Philippines a little bit. One, I'm married to a Filipino. But all of the workforce that you've been able to connect us with are super performers. I mean, we are pleased with every single one of them who do critical tasks and functions within our company. And it's been a real blessing for us.
Yeah, what we do in the Philippines, which is really unique, is that we get 300 to 400 applications every single day. Mm-hmm. And then we go through those applications and fine comb them basically for the best of the best. Our company, even though the market knows us as virtual assistants, we call our people virtual professionals. So we're looking for the people who really can make an impact in your business and give you instant talent and leverage so you can grow.
Yeah. Well, so let's wrap up and go back to the beginning. First, tell us a little bit about you and how you started this amazing company, and give us a little background. Then we'll get into fast forward to today.
Yeah, sure. Mark, what's funny is I still stop at every open house in my neighborhood. My wife makes fun of me because at night I'm looking at the MLS and CoStar for every single real estate deal in our area. I'm in Sacramento, California. So, I look from, all the way down to Bakersfield, all the way up to Oregon. And my wife calls that real estate porn. Like I'm online looking at houses every single night. And so I'm at my heart a real estate guy. And I love that you started businesses just solving problems. The bigger your problem and the more people you solve it for, the bigger your company will be. And so I was our first customer, just like you guys are a customer. Mm-hmm. You guys needed some leverage and some people to help you do some of the doing. I'm a real estate broker and a developer and a mortgage guy. And I hired my first virtual assistant, and I was like, holy moly, this is amazing. Right. This works. And that's really what started the company.
So it started from your own need. You had your own need to solve a problem to scale. And from that, then it grew into something much bigger. You had a vision of, wow, this could be a solution in the marketplace.
Well, and I found myself on my honeymoon in Guatemala, literally working. And so I'm on my honeymoon. I'm in a Francis Ford Coppola resort in these bungalows. It was like a tree bungalow. Right. And my wife is back in the room, and the bartender actually stole my phone and started making fun of me in Spanish. So I speak enough Spanish to be dangerous. And he's like, dumb white guy, beautiful bride back in the room, always working, money is his God. And literally this guy is just making fun of me on my honeymoon. And at some point at 1 a.m, I dropped my head and I was like, oh my goodness, I need to change. Something about my business needs to change. I can't keep doing this. And at the time I described myself as a helicopter delegator, meaning I would give somebody a task and then I would like overlook them and make sure it was perfect. And it was just really dysfunctional. And so the honeymoon was really what got me, really started in needing to have a system and a process and to hire leverage and kind of get out there and grow a business. And to be honest, I just wanted to stay married. I didn't want to work 24/7. I wanted to go on vacation and be able to take a vacation. I wanted to close the deals and do the people part of the business, which is what I like and what I love, finding the deals and negotiating them. So yeah, this was the challenge that I had. And and virtual assistants was a big part of me solving for wanting to stay married and go on vacation.
Well, Dan, isn't it true, and you've seen it not only in yourself, and I've seen it with me and in others, that you have to have that breakdown. That breakdown leads you to the breakthrough, and that's exactly, you not only broke through, but you thrived with this amazing concept.
Well, what's funny is I always, I tell people I can never learn a lesson just by hearing it. I've got to either have pain in my heart or in my pocketbook. And so I was having both. I was having deals fall apart, and I was, married, working on my honeymoon. So yeah, I mean, I think that's normal for entrepreneurs. I think that's normal for business people. We have to go through some amount of pain in order to make actual real change in our worlds.
Yeah, for sure. I've learned as a coach over thousands of hours that there's two things. It's either inspiration or desperation. And you had some desperation.
That's right.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Well, so let's fast forward. So now you have this amazing service. We're probably one of your bigger clients, I'm assuming. We're loving the service. It's helped us grow to be one of the fastest. We are the fastest growing real estate franchise company in America. And your folks and your service is a big part of that. Why would someone be fearful? Many times I talk to people and they say, well, they're so far away, or I want someone that I can touch right here. What are all the fears that people go through that might just be myths in their head?
Yeah, it's good. If you're listening right now and you're curious, or you have some objections, I would just answer, number one, our people are typically college educated. They have a high level of demand and drive, meaning they demand a lot from themselves and they want to succeed. The Philippines, which is where we are, they're Catholic. 94% of them self-identify as Catholic. So their vision of right and wrong aligns with ours in the U.S. And, their English is great. They have a high level of proficiency in their craft. So when you come in and work with us, we go through a process where we identify your outcome. Like, what do you want to have happen in your business to make this a successful relationship? And with that outcome, we then go source talent for that exact outcome, meaning, real estate people, transaction coordination, all the paper. That was the first thing that I did with a virtual assistant, is I don't want to do my paperwork anymore. I don't want to manage timelines or deadlines. I don't want to have to call vendors and schedule pest inspections and roof inspections. So the very first thing that I hired was I don't want any more admin work or paperwork on my plate. So what we do in our process is just clearly define what your need is, and then we match someone to that exact skill set that will fill that need. And really, that kind of consultative sales approach, where we verify that you have everything you need, that the person is really good, and you guys are going to work well together. That's really what sets us apart. We just crossed 2,000 virtual assistants.
Wow.
In 2022. And, we're really fortunate. We're named the best virtual assistant company in 2021. And we just received that award again in 2022. So we're being recognized by our industry. And, we're just really fortunate to have figured out how to help people grow with virtual assistants.
Well, and just the culture within the company. So, the 11 folks that work for us, even though they work for us, they really work for you. But they almost have two cultures. They have our culture, and then they thrive within your culture, because you have training and you pour into them and you do different things. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So when you come and hire us, we don't just, again, we try to match you based on your need and the virtual assistant's skill set. But there's a lot of things that we'll do in the background to really make sure that you're successful. We do have a training, we have an onboarding. We have coaches. We have a technology platform that all of our virtual assistants log into. We have a community so that we're running, different prizes and different things. And in this virtual world where you can't get together because of COVID, I mean, we've had virtual conferences where literally there's 50,000 interactions. Our people are interacting at our last Christmas party 50,000 times, which was super killer for us.
That's awesome.
So we give them vacation time and benefits, and we have somebody who, when they have a question, there's a forum for them to ask, to get help from their peers or somebody at the company. So we do a lot in the background to support, so companies like yours, Mark, they can thrive and not have to worry about the HR or the benefits or the payroll or any of the minutia of managing a virtual assistant in another country.
Right. Yeah. Well, so what would be your advice? We have listening in, we have broker owners, we have high-performing teams, and we have agents and financial professionals, maybe doing mortgages and those kind of things. What advice would you give them on how to even check it out or even begin to look at it?
Well, I think one thing that's changing about our industry is we're seeing margins being squeezed. We're seeing buyers and sellers have more options than ever before. And, I would say if you're looking at your business and trying to make plans for 2022 or 2023, focus on the things that really drive revenue, like that drive new deals coming in the door, and let us handle anything else. That's my suggestion. If you own a franchise or you're a broker and you have a team, start thinking about how you might put some systems and process inside your business that a virtual assistant can do, because the cost is just phenomenally different. I'm drinking some coffee right here, and this coffee is $4 in the United States, but in the Philippines it's $1. So there's a big piece of this that is just a cost benefit. And when we're in a margins are being squeezed, and clients are even harder to find in this world, and competition is high. And, you have to think about ways of being better, smarter, faster, stronger, more profitable. And I think virtual assistants are a great way.
Well, one of the things to scale is obviously being able to automate and delegate. Many folks that I work with, they're so scared to work with a virtual professional because, they're not right here where I can, sit across the table from them. Is that a myth, or are there differences in how you prepare as a leader to work with a virtual professional versus working with someone that's maybe sitting across your desk?
Oh yeah, and this is the biggest challenge in our business. When you're working virtual, it requires a higher level of documentation, and that's challenging for business owners. I mean, and to be perfectly frank, it's challenging for me. I'm not a write it down guy. I'm a talk to Mark guy and have a podcast. I don't like to get into the details and figure out exactly what the process flow needs to be. But that's what's required when you start working with virtual team members, is having really defined systems and process, hopefully a tech platform that they live inside of. And then good video training is like another kind of secret weapon that you can employ in your business. The other thing is, Albert Einstein said, compound interest is the, eighth wonder of the world. Well, compound leverage in our world is when you've created a system and a process, you've created good training, video training, and you've handed that off, you get that time back in the rest of your career. And that in our world is compound leverage, where you've given a job away and you never get that job back. You get that time back for the rest of your life. Now you can focus your energy and effort on something that adds even more value to the business. And that really is a game changer. And once you get addicted to that, like I'm addicted to that, I'm addicted to giving things away. Once you get addicted to that, you'll start seeing revenue just soar.
Yeah. And what I think so many of us forget, because more of them are like us, we're on the podcast, you can hire the virtual professional to do the checklist. Like, hey, part of your job is to get what's in my head out and on a piece of paper and in a process. Right?
Yeah. Well, and don't be afraid to use the resources. I like Dr. Google and Professor YouTube, right?
Right.
every single thing, nothing in real estate is super unique, and everybody thinks that it is. But transaction coordination, marketing, there's YouTubes out there, there's coaches to hire, there's company resources like your company that provides a checklist. So you don't have to rebuild it. You just have to decide what you need, clearly articulate that need, and then get documents that work for your business, and then just stick with it and have the virtual assistant help you build out the process.
Yeah. Well, how does the audience get a hold of your team? How do they check out a website, phone call? What do they do?
Yeah, so jump on our website, myoutdesk.com, MYOUTDESK.com, and just jump there. We've got a #1 best-selling book on Amazon that you can read and get a free download there. We also do consultations. So if you're thinking about, hiring a virtual assistant or putting it in your plan, getting ready for the summer months, they're coming up, and that's when all the business is done, right? You grab a consultation, we'll sit down with you, and we'll explore whether this is a good fit for you or not.
Yeah. Well, there we have it. Well, Daniel, I am so honored to be doing this journey along with you. We're very, very pleased. I want to give a big shout out to all of our team members in the Philippines who do such an amazing job for us. And thank you for being such a great partner.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. And I'm also honored to be in business with you. And if you're listening to this and you're even a bit curious, just jump on our website. We'd be happy to serve you and have a conversation and see if we're a big fit.
All right. Well, there we go. Well, that's our episode of Success Superstars. And until we see you again, may your choices reflect your hopes and not your fears.